Good morning, St. Louis, and welcome to the first episode of p.b.p, Person Behind the Passion. And today we'll be interviewing the founder of this podcast and the founder of Whois Incorporated, Ardimus Caldwell. Yeah. And, we'll be asking him about who he is and how he came about creating Whois Incorporated. So it's going to be an interesting show, so tune in and, you'll be in for a treat.
All right.
Cool. What's going on, man?
With you, brother?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Man,
Look, back at it.
Right. Back in here. So it's the first episode of p.b.p, Person Behind the Passion, man. How you feel about that?
I feel, for real, I feel good, actually. It is for real, a big accomplishment for me to actually see something that came from my mind and to be like alive in fruition. Crazy.
Right. It's a great thing to be doing your own thing.
Yeah, for real.
Right. So, man, we just gonna jump right into the questions, man.
Okay.
So, start it off. Who is Ardimus Caldwell? Tell the people who you are.
Well, for the city of St. Louis, I am a man of many talents. I write poetry. I draw. I'm a real big people person. I'm a real big love me type of guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
One of my friends told me I'm a real good person to smile around. So
why do you think that is?
because man, you know what? Honestly, I got a real bad habit of finding the good in people. I could people could be so mad around me, they'd be like, "Oh, I hate the day," but all of a sudden I come around bye y'all.
But I don't think that's a bad habit, though.
I
wouldn't consider that a bad habit.
Yeah, it's not a bad habit, but in the world we live in today, bro, people want to be angry and upset.
That is true.
You know what I mean? So they be like, "Oh, get away from me!" People be telling me that, "Get away from me." Why are you smiling so much? I get that all the time.
I do feel that. I think that it's like the opposite magnet effect. You know what I'm saying? Positive and negative. You put them together,
And see, bro, it's I honestly feel so not to jump into who is, but who is came from people find it funny that you are the one that's happy. You know what I mean? If I'm walking down the street smiling and enjoying the day, how you quote unquote say you want to, then why is it crazy that I'm doing it? You know what I mean? And so that's you know what I mean? That just blows my mind. So that's why I say I think I'm weird though. A lot of people be like, "Oh man, you weird," but you a good word though. See, look, right. I'm a good vibe, but something off about you, and it's because I'm such a.
It's just different. People don't see that all the time. You know what I'm saying? People ain't used to that. People ain't used to seeing that in their everyday life, not even in themselves.
Yeah.
So. I understand why. So where you from, man? You from St. Louis. Where you from in St. Louis?
Yeah, so my family moved around a lot. My mom, she actually had me on the south side. But my family, all the kids and stuff, we came to the Peabodys.
Right.
So we all grew up down there, and it was just live. Okay. Yeah, Peabodys.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Peabody's not too far from me. I grew up down the street, literally. Yeah. But how would you say your experience was growing up in St. Louis, or living in the Peabodys?
It was good. I know it get a lot of bad rep, but it was still good. People say it's bad. I guess it's bad now. Don't get me wrong. It may be bad. I know what the news and all that may say or whatever, but it's people out there trying to make a living anyway. But it's just anyway, my experience down there was good.
Okay.
Yeah, we was all out there jamming.
Right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So tell us a little bit more about Whois and how you came about creating Whois Incorporated. Or actually, you know what? First, tell us what's the purpose behind it.
Purpose behind Whois.
Right.
Well, the purpose behind Whois is actually to be positive, act selfless, and understand positive negative consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So the real purpose is to again I challenge you to be a happier person solely because like we was just talking about, you said that you want to be happier, so let me help you do that. Because it's simple, not necessarily let me help you, but I feel that so Whois started off as get myself together. But Whois started off as a t-shirt like thing. Like I was just, hey, take a t-shirt.
Right. Like you got the one on.
Yeah. One I got on now. And it really started off just to be acknowledging good people. Just more so, not necessarily good people, but good people in the sense of you walking around being happy and you're more so promoting a healthier lifestyle. Whether it may not be like eating wise, but a healthier lifestyle just being, I really believe I should stop having a bad day. So the people I come in contact with, I'm going to try to at least, whatever I'm going through, I'm going to put that aside and then show kindness to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, just on the tip of just being a good person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not wearing that, in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a great mindset, man. So what inspired you to gain that belief? Or, what's
Yeah, I got you. Like that really was instilled in me through my dad, for real. Shout out to my pops, Arnell Hudson. It's really like, I don't know. To be honest with you, because I was just talking to my friend about this. I really didn't look up to anybody, So like it was, but I watched a lot of cartoons though.
right?
This may be bizarre, but I watched a lot of cartoons to where it kind of was programmed inside of me to just be a good person.
Right.
And it blows my mind to see people aren't good people, you know what I mean? And so like my, I guess, core values and the way I move and how I go about life and how I go about things, I know I may be getting off the question, but it's a real, how I got these was a little bit of imagination and then discipline and instilling reality on what I can and cannot do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I'm saying that right, if I'm making sense, I don't know if I'm making sense, but
yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's where a lot of my stuff come from.
Okay. So do you feel that the cartoons, it played a role in you, on this pursuit of happiness, basically? Pursuit of you just being happy?
Yeah, actually. Solely because I don't believe that like it should be, oh, you can't go to Hawaii, or Jamaica because like your bills got to get paid, but like you've been working your butt off,
right?
Type deal. Like not like that. Like go pay your bills, handle your responsibilities, but like say like you've been
still do that, and
you know what I mean. Like you've been working your butt off. Like I don't like, and it's like how things be so down to the knit and grit about the money. Like people hate their job and still yet go to work and still people don't even like believe in like the educational system, but yet still put your kid through your kid. Like you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, somebody got to say something. You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, I'm only 25. Excuse me, 24. But I created Whois when I was 21. It started off as outlaw, just because I believed that I was outside of the law, of just how I was moving, because the law of the land it appreciates ignorance and people, you know what I mean, and how people degrade themselves and stuff like that. And that's how, and like, so you'll see a lot of people like that winning. So like, if you're a person like me, or not like that, but like if you're a person like me and you looking at like, oh man, well, I want millions, I want to chase the success, and I want to climb the chain, so now I got to get 10 chains, 5 females, like I got like, and it's like at one point, like, and then you even heard the rapper say, or the entertainer say that, oh man, that's not what it's all about. But then they like leave it all in the earth, and it's like, well, what is it all about?
Right, and it's interesting that you say that, because that type of stuff is heavily promoted to us as a culture, or just heavily promoted as our culture in general.
Yeah.
But when you see other cultures, they don't really promote themselves like that.
Not even.
They only act like that when they come around us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, cause like I really look at our culture to really see that like we heavy in music. Music plays a big part. So but again, we don't have. I was just shout out to Eric, follow, dude, love you. But we don't have any youth leaders. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, they had people in their 30s stepping up. Right now, you know what I mean?
In their 20s.
Even like look, I said the exact same thing. He's 22. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago, and it's like, bro, y'all had a 10-step platform, like for schooling, for like just rehabilitating the community, and it's like, well, we're like, I just feel that like the young people now and the older generation. We just have like a feud, like y'all not doing y'all supposed to do, and we not
disconnect.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, what happens if you in a crossfire? You know what I mean?
Now, you got an interesting take on that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's a disconnect between the older generation of Black America and the younger generation?
I honestly, bro, don't know. I couldn't even tell you, solely because it's like everybody caught in the stereotype. The older generation, I believe, like they just now getting out of jail, or like they just believe like that the younger generation, all we want to do is party and chase females. So then the younger generation.
That is what a lot of motherfuckers
do. But look, that's what the mass does.
Right.
You see what I mean? So so it's like y'all going off the stereotypes of what the mass is. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, I'm not the mass. So what we gonna talk about now? Like, bro, let me tell you this. How I see my life, like how I see my life, it's like it's a whole bunch of like war going on. Boom, 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 boom. And it's like all of a sudden, it's like this room of like great scientists and people and everything. Everybody like, oh no, what's going on? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And like all of a sudden, like the door open, like it's this big old automatic door open. Doom, shit. Here I come. I just walk in with this goofy smile. I'm like, who is this dude? I'm like, hi, I'm Ardimus. You know? And they're like, well, what you doing here? And I'm like, oh, well, I got the answer. The answer to what? Your problems. No, you don't. Okay. And like, I just go over there, like, press the buttons on the machine. Do. Right. And like, everything go back to normal. Yeah. And I think that's how, honestly, bro, I feel. So, like, with Whois, it comes into play just like just being nice. Watch, like, I just say, like, watch what nice people can do. Yeah, everybody mad, but let me, like, ruffle some feathers with you. It'd be okay. All right. Go ahead, my bad, bro.
I was going to ask now,